Hey guys, Tommy G, middle-aged millennial, and been waiting for this moment for quite a while. I have Mr. Peter Rouse, in fact in his house. There he is, the man himself. So you would have seen if you're in the Heal.me community, which is part of Middle-aged Millennial, and we've got extra content that's actually going in there. So my best stuff is going in there now. We'll share it out occasionally after it's been in there for a while, but yesterday we got Peter doing some work with Anne and her ankles, having beaten up a bit and playing international soccer for a number of years for Canada. But Peter is a man of many talents and a huge amount of knowledge. And we've been here.
Knowledge or opinion?
Knowledge, both. But thing is though, if you take him on with his opinion, he's going to back it with some facts. And this is the great thing about Peter. We met in a strange way where I thought this guy was like a troll that was just giving me
Russian
shit.
Troll.
Yeah, Russian troll.
That's how I make my money.
Yeah, exactly. But we're all trying to find out the truth about health and the connection that Peter and I sort of had there. And we had a call after about it to say, hey, look,
He's trying to get me to kind of back off.
I was not.
Some threats were going on there too, I think.
Exactly right. Yeah, getting trolled to death. Dude, what's going on? And look, Pete, to his credit, said, look, I'm not trying to be a dick. I just want to be straight with these are the facts. Right? Well, I don't believe him, but I don't want to go there. Jesus, you're reading like a book a day, Pete, and you're listening to how many podcasts each day?
I do a lot of audiobooks, books.
Right.
Yeah, I try to do like 5 to 10 books a week is kind of like the goal.
Wow.
And then audiobooks, 4 or 5 of those a week.
4 or 5 of those a week?
Yeah, good advantage of the audiobooks, you can listen at the highest speed. Depending on the author, you can, or the narrator, you can read it 1.5, 1.75.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's kind of when I'm doing other stuff at the same time, so I kind of do 2 things at once.
Right.
Something that, we're not meant to be able to do, multitasking, but yeah, it's not a problem.
Right, okay. For someone like you, yeah.
Well, no, it's just brain dead jobs.
Right.
Mowing the lawns,
Driving
around mowing lawns, listening to the books, yeah.
So
the lawns take about 5 hours here, so that's one book right there.
Right, okay, there we go, right? I mean, I did the same thing when I'm running, doing workouts, mindless type work. I'll listen to it, and learn.
See, for me, I can't do that during a workout for me. I mean, I could say if I was going for a long distance run, absolutely.
Yeah.
For in the gym, I'm very focused in the gym, in the weight training side of things. So when I'm doing my weights workout, very focused, and I don't like those distractions. I time things. I do my training a bit more scientific, so I time my rest periods, tempo on everything. So everything's got to be more focused. So it's kind of hard to listen to anything for me in the gym. Long runs, absolutely, I can see that, kind of distracting me from that too. So.
Right. Well, so I was just going to get Anne to check volume because we've got a bit of breeze going on here. But so probably needs to be a bit louder. But for me, riding a bike and listening to podcasts, thank God I can actually do that at the same time. But I mean, for you though, if you're getting in the zone, because I know gym work's a big part of your life. It has been since I guess this high, right? Yeah. So for you to get focused on that, and I think you probably use that as meditation for you too. Would that be right?
Yeah, it's
in the zone.
It's an active meditation. Definitely a meditation. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I don't get my workout in,
right.
Yeah, people need to watch out.
Sounds like me with Anne as well. Anne's actually on there right now.
Hello, Anne.
Hello. now Anne can drop some jokes. Volume is good. All right, sweet. We just had a bit of breeze, and it's got a little dark, but we're good enough.
Now at least you can see a bit more of the background today. Unlike
yesterday, it should be a prettier picture. I mean, it's amazing, right?
Yeah, it's actually, the hills are higher than what you can see on the video there, though.
Right. So, I mean, you're originally a Kiwi.
Mm-hmm.
You were busy in the States for a while, and you had businesses. You got businesses in different parts of the world and stuff, right? And you settled back here.
We came back 2 years ago.
About 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And what drove you back to New Zealand? Apart from the fact it's a beautiful place, and if you're looking to take a chill pill, yeah. And I mean, is that why?
Well, we want to start a family.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was the main thing.
Yeah.
So having a kid at 50, you want to be in a position where, in a good position for everything.
Right.
So one thing we liked about New Zealand was the freedom of, they give you a choice of what you want to do, vaccine freedom, healthcare freedom, everything like that, education freedom. So we're going to be homeschooling, which we've probably talked about before.
Right.
Or I've mentioned before when I've been on here trolling you. So, we have that freedom here is one of the key factors. We lived in Los Angeles for a long time too. And that's one place I would never have a kid. Just, you can't even, you don't have a right to your own children.
Right.
So that was probably the biggest factor was finding somewhere where we could have a child. We tried a few places and this kind of ended up being the best option for us. The reason we didn't think it was an option because of all our animals, because coming to New Zealand was a big quarantine factor.
2 dogs, 5 cats.
Yeah, well, 1 dog at the time.
Right.
We got a dog once we got here, another one. But that was actually a very easy process, and quarantine was 10 days, so it ended up being not bad.
Okay. All
So
right.
it's family.
So it's family. You're chronologically 50, but from a cellular age, you're about what?
26 was like, test I had was 26 at the time. Who knows now, probably, if you've been here for a week, probably I'm up in the 40s.
Thanks. I'm
It's
very
aged me,
flattered.
trust me.
I'm flattered I've had that much impact.
Yeah, a little bit of impact.
Oh, God. Look at it. The animals. Yeah, right. Okay. Love the animals.
Yeah.
We've got Troy on as well. Welcome, Troy.
Hi, Troy.
Right. So then you look at you've come here with your little one, to have your little one, and we look at like the longevity aspect of being in a place like here. I mean, was that part of the reason as well? It's
Yeah.
like longer life. You're cellular age of 26. I mean, people would love to know how the hell did you do that?
Well, that's telomere length testing. So with telomere length testing, that's one factor towards your aging process. So it's not like this is how old you truly are.
Right.
Because there's other factors come into it. But with your telomere length, you're going to be, taking that as probably a big marker towards that aging process.
Right.
So we kind of look at that and say, okay, you're 26 here. Chances are that those other markers are probably going to be fairly low anyway as well, because when those markers elevate, that's going to cause accelerated shortening of the telomeres itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a number of things like you're talking about, like eating, moving, sleeping, what you're
Got a
doing
dog
in that
here.
area. Or what?
Got a little dog here.
Or
come
a
and see
dog.
us.
Well, connecting, right?
Yeah.
Animals are a part of it too.
Yeah, that's actually, if she can stay out here. The aging thing, they've talked about that too. Having pets has shown to slow or decrease the rate of aging as well.
Right.
Well, depends on your pets. Sasha, I think she ages us. Nikita probably does the opposite. Yeah, she kind of brings us down.
Sasha's pretty energetic.
Well, puppy age still.
Right.
So I think the puppy age part doesn't help much, but
Right.
you know,
Okay.
that's part of the fun, isn't it?
Well, it is. Yeah. So it's that fun stage. It's energetic. It's a little bit of work, but they're quite funny as well. We've been having a bit of fun with Sasha. She's been having a bit of fun with us. So when we're talking about longevity, you're talking about telomere length.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's sort of like an indicator of like those little shoelaces on the end of your DNA sort of helix,
Yep.
right? And they get smaller means that you're going to live a shorter life, a marker of, or it's an actual cause, or how does it work?
Okay, so the telomere shortening occurs from the time conception occurs.
Right.
Okay, so you lose about half of your telomere length just from within the womb.
Right.
So when you're born, you're actually born with half the telomere length that you're actually conceived with.
Huh.
So you lose.
You
Remember,
lose half of coming out.
well, think about the cell division that occurs.
Right.
So it's all based on the cell division as well.
Right.
So much cell division going on there. So, you're always losing or shortening your telomeres. And part of the reason for that is, the telomeres are used, they're almost like spare building blocks for your DNA.
Right.
So when your cell replicates, it may need to borrow some of the telomere or the spare building blocks to rebuild
to build the actual DNA
Yeah.
helix
Yeah,
thing.
to,
Right.
to restructure it,
Right.
so that it's not damaged.
Right.
So that's going to be always shortening. One of the things we've been looking at is, okay, how can we basically rebuild those telomeres?
Right.
And telomerase is the enzyme that actually activates and rebuilds those telomeres.
Right.
And that's something we've been looking at. How can we stimulate this? One of the things that we've it's a mixed report on this though,
Right.
is that if you increase telomerase or increase your telomere length or whatever you may kind of look at it,
Yeah.
you then increase your risk of cancer. But that's not true.
Huh.
And I'll break it down for you. The reason they kind of got that was cancer cells actually have basically a anti-aging effect on their own cell.
Right.
So telomere length in the cancer cell was increased.
Oh, wow.
That's how they survive, right?
Right.
So that's where they kind of get this perception that, okay, if you increase telomere length, you're going to induce cancer, but it's not that way.
Right.
The cancerous cell becomes cancerous, and then its survival mechanism is to increase the telomere length of the cell.
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
it's not correlated. There's no correlation
Right.
or causation there.
Right. Okay.
So don't be afraid of increasing telomere length or
Right.
telomerase if you find a way to do it.
Okay.
And there are some ways that we look at doing it.
Right. I mean, there are some things available today, some supplements.
Yeah.
You've mentioned them before on FB.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it before with
Yeah.
with TA65, which is
Right.
kind of from TA Sciences, based out of New York. They do a really good product. Bill Andrews actually was behind that originally.
Okay.
And then I look at a lot of peptides as well. So
Okay.
we've got epithamon, we've
Right.
got thymolin, TOH. In that combination, actually, is very effective as well in reversing some of that, and also boosting the immune system, which comes down to other, age-causing diseases and stuff like that. If you regulate that immune system, you're going to get a better outcome in aging as well.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, if someone asked you, I know I've asked you, but for the sake of the FB Live, and I tend to ask everybody this question, based on your experience, because you're a PhD, right, in genetics? No, in physiology?
Yep.
Right. And
My master's in genetics.
Masters in genetics.
And biochemistry.
And biochemistry.
And exercise science. And
exercise science. So Pete knows a fair bit about the body. So if I asked you, okay, Pete, give me the top three, if I want to lead a longer, healthier life, what are the top three things in all the research and stuff that you've done, things you've learned, what would be number one?
Well, if you want to put it into a big category, it's lifestyle.
Lifestyle is the overall category.
Yeah, your lifestyle factors is the biggest factor. So people look for the magic pill,
right,
or the magic bullet, whatever, to increase their lifespan. But it comes down to their life choices, their lifestyle. Things like we did was finding an environment that's more friendly to your health.
Right.
I've lived in some pretty
shitty
toxic cities. I've
yeah.
lived in Tokyo, I've lived in Hong Kong, which aren't exactly clean cities. So looking at the environment you live in is a big factor, because we've talked about the environment and the effect on epigenetics and gene expression.
Yeah.
So the environment can impact your gene expression. So you want to be in an environment that's going to express good genes rather than the bad genes.
Tell us a bit about that, because like my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, you've got like on average it's sort of 25,000-ish, give or take a few thousand, genes, and if they could, the explanation I tend to use now is like you can consider your genes being like software packages, perhaps in a library, and you can load them and upload them. You can actually control, which is epigenetic expression, but I don't know, can you kind of...
Well, the control part is becoming more clear, but it's not like we can kind of control them all yet.
Right.
Like, we don't know how and what, and I don't think he ever wanted to control them all anyway.
Because?
Getting into a little bit of ethical and also just health. I
Right.
think you start messing with things you don't understand, that's where you get into trouble.
Right.
That's what we've seen with GMOs and stuff like that.
Right.
So when we're looking at controlling some of these genes expressions, we're looking at, some of the gene expression can be very easily controlled.
Right.
Sunlight controls gene expression.
Right.
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
Yeah, vitamin D is so vital.
Right.
That's why I think vitamin D should be on a standardized testing when you get your metabolic panel done at your doctor. If you get an annual checkup or whatever, that should be really a standard, and they don't.
Right.
And then the reference range is often too low. At least they bring that up a little bit. It depends on where you are in the world. I know in the US it's sometimes actually they've increased it. It used to be between 30 and 60.
Right.
Now I believe they're going up to 80.
Right.
I like to see it somewhere between 60 and 80 for most people. Some patients I will go over 100 mark actually, but that's for specific conditions. But 60 to 80 mark is kind of like the nice kind of medium.
So people should be taking, 5,000 UI a day or
IU.
2,000?
IU,
sorry.
International units.
Right, international units.
He's when. So I would say that based on your blood test. So
Based on blood test, right.
if you can, get a little bit more sunlight.
Yep.
That's number one, because it's not the same as taking a supplement.
Does that produce D? Because D's a hormone, right? You corrected me this
D
morning.
is a kind of like a hormone. It's a pre-hormone. Yeah.
So does that sunlight produce it, or does it help synthesize?
It's part of the synthesis process that occurs in the skin. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the vitamin D levels in you should be kind of try to get as much as you can from natural sources. But remember, you might live in an environment where, let's say you live in Alaska and trying to get sunlight during the day in Alaska, it's not going to happen. So day shortens during the winter. So, and that's one of the things they believe is why people get more sick during the winter, is with that loss of vitamin D.
Huh.
If you feel like you're getting sick, load up on 20,000 IU of vitamin D for a couple of days, which is not toxic, by the way.
Right.
You'll find that you might even hit, if it's a cold or something, basic virus like that, it could knock it on the head.
Not C? Not vitamin C?
If you take vitamin C, hourly vitamin C is poorly absorbed. Like it's on average is like 10%. So if you do take vitamin C, I recommend if you're taking hourly, is go for a liposomal.
Liposomal?
Yeah,
more
so
absorbed.
that's encapsulated. Liposomal is about up there with IV.
Right.
Now, when you look back at some of the old research on vitamin C, you bring that up, and that kind of goes in with aging too, actually. It's an important factor for immunity and stuff.
Cancer as well, right? So
yeah, cancer. But all the early research that showed positive with vitamin D was done with IV therapy. Okay?
Right.
They came back and repeated the studies to show they weren't valid, and they used oral. So there's a big difference between oral vitamin C, just alone the absorption rate, but the effect of intercellular retention and everything is totally different. So they're kind of, it's like comparing apples and oranges. Or, there's no comparison. And by the way, kiwi fruit are very high in vitamin C.
Kiwi fruit?
Much more higher than oranges.
There's going to be a lot of push for New Zealand products, by the way, just in case. We'll be heading to the wine list soon.
I actually got a vineyard.
Pete doesn't drink. Yeah, he's got a vineyard. He doesn't drink. So we're drinking his wine
instead. We actually don't use it.
Right, we don't use it. Jeez, okay. All right, so getting back to the top three then, bringing it around, what would you say is your top from what you've experienced?
Okay, come back to lifestyle.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk nutrition.
All right.
So nutrition, we've talked about a little bit. We talked about the other day, water and the quality of food you're eating.
Right.
And eating towards what we were talking about the other day, your metabolic type.
Right.
Now, when I say metabolic type, and I'm working on Dr. William Kelly's research.
We did the test. It's not short. It's like 2 to 3 hours to do that, baby.
For you, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You're a little slow. Well, put it this way, I usually tell people just do in half-hour blocks and take your time to do it.
Right, okay.
It's the kind of you sat down and tried to do it in one go almost. Like you didn't do
almost.
Goes, right?
I did 2 goes, but like 70% the first go.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty intensive.
Yeah.
So metabolic typing basically identifies the individual requirements. So we look at the individual biochemistry.
Yep.
So someone may be more tolerant to carbohydrates, someone less tolerant. I'm not so tolerant to carbohydrates.
Right.
I find I do better on more moderate fat, low fat, higher fat, or more high protein.
Right.
I bump up the carbs too much. Not good. But
you're talking about complex carbs, though, right? Not the refined
carbs.
crap. Any carbs?
Any carb.
Okay.
Total carbohydrate.
Right.
So of course, refined carb we don't even look at. I mean, that's
I don't
to
see
me,
much
that's
refined
not,
carb in here.
No, I don't consider refined carbs as a food.
Right.
My wife might disagree with me on that, but depends if it's chocolate from Switzerland.
Right. Yeah. There we go.
By the way, they came with a big pack of Swiss chocolate.
It was our accommodation charge.
Yeah. That paid for about the first 2 hours.
Shit. I escaped with my life with the bill. Who cares?
Yeah. Until you get the bill at the end. So the metabolic typing, eating for your type, and I'm talking about blood type either, but eating for your type is kind of a
epigenetic thing.
It can be an epigenetic thing, and that's the thing is that sometimes that can change a little bit too with the environment. But if you look at your heritage and where you've grown up and anything like that, that has a big determination. And then what your grandparents say, I mean, that epigenetic adaptation can occur over 3 generations.
Right.
So you are what you eat, you are what your mother ate, and you are what your grandmother ate and grandfather ate.
Right.
Basically that epigenetic adaptation can occur over 3 generations, and that's what we see with post World War II, during World War II, starvation occurred. Like fasting. Yep. That's where some of the early fasting research came out of too.
Right.
And then that effect on fertility actually affected up to 3 generations after that.
Fertility.
Yeah.
So that people couldn't procreate.
Yeah,
or
as much.
It fertilized. It like made them more sterile.
Pretty much, yeah.
Through fasting.
Yeah, that's one thing is that gene. Wow. Well, think about this. If you're fasting, what are you telling your body? There's not enough food.
So don't have more babies. Wow.
That's why I'm not a really big proponent on fasting. Now, if you're using fasting for the right
But that'd
reason,
be like extreme though, wouldn't it? For too long.
yeah,
There's a healthy
for too
part.
long. But then you could be still triggering those genes, though, even with a shorter
So you
period.
could be switching them on.
I'm okay
Right.
with fasting maybe a little bit longer in one day. So one day you may be fasting. You get up in the morning, you don't eat till lunchtime.
Right.
And you haven't eaten from dinner the night before.
Right.
That's considered intermittent
Like an intermittent
fasting.
fast.
Yeah,
Right.
that's called considered intermittent fasting.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that 7 days a week, but you could do.
Right.
I wouldn't do that, but I wouldn't do anything longer than that. I like to do those kind of fastings maybe for short periods of time.
Right.
Like a 3-week block, I might do
Right.
intermittent fasting over a 3-week block and then
Okay.
switch it off, or even divide it up over 1 week and then take a couple of weeks off.
Right.
1 week. And then another way you can do it just 1-2 days a year. Even. But you want
Wow.
to get that, it depends on the individual. Now, as you age and you don't want to,
Yeah.
as you
Have
get much
babies.
older,
Yeah.
then there could be some beneficial benefits from doing fasting. But again, don't want to overdo it.
Right. And I think protein intake is advised to be a bit higher when you get older too.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about protein, bioavailability, and also other factors of how much you actually assimilate and absorb. And talked about it before with you are what you eat, but also you are what you
You
assimilate.
assimilate as in what you can absorb in your body.
Yeah.
Right.
And we talked about the quality of proteins.
Right.
We talked about plant protein
Right.
compared to animal protein and the bioavailability and how much you assimilate and absorb. No one wants to talk to us today, too.
Bit deep for all Canadians.
See, I'm not on here abusing you.
Yeah, it's good. We've got him in the seat now. Right, okay.
Maybe I should have my iPad. I abused myself.
Abuse yourself. Troll yourself. Go get
Well, I
trolled.
could pick on you.
Yeah, go troll yourself. Right. All right. Wow. I mean, geez, there's just so many questions that are coming to my head, Pete. Obviously, we've got a certain amount of time, and I want to keep it on message. But so then, if we're looking at, so we've done a bit of C, and with C, 3,000, 5,000 milligrams a day. Any idea and sort of dosage for the average human? What would you suggest?
That's okay. So if you're taking liposomal, you need less. So if you're taking oral vitamin C, you
Because
need
you're
to take a
absorbing
mega
more.
dosage
Right.
to get up there. But then when
Right.
you start taking mega dosage, then you start getting gastrointestinal issues.
Right. Okay. And diarrhea starts happening. or
Yeah.
something.
So if you do want to clean yourself out, take 5,000
Milligrams.
of vitamin C and
In the lipo.
yeah.
Was it lipo?
No. Liposomal doesn't cause that.
Right.
Because
Okay.
you're bypassing.
Right.
But you won't need as much.
Okay.
You can get vitamin C injections now, intramuscular injections now.
Yep. Right.
But I'd say go if you want to do a combination of liposomal and oral.
Yep.
I'll go for ones that contain bioflavonoids. So
Yep.
if you're taking vitamin C by itself, it actually requires bioflavonoids with that.
Right.
So if you look at your natural food-based supplement brands that
Yep.
will actually have the bioflavonoids combined with it, I believe even Metagenix has the bioflavonoids combined with the vitamin C, but you really do need the bioflavonoids in there with the vitamin C to help assimilation.
Right.
Remember, vitamin C in the commercial market is ascorbic acid, which is
Right.
Yeah.
Which is not vitamin C,
Well, it is, but
but
it's
pretty cheap and hard to absorb.
It's not put it this way. Ascorbic acid is not the same as the vitamin C you get from your kiwi fruit.
Kiwi fruit. Yeah, there's going to be a kiwi fruit shortage in New Zealand at this rate. I hope. I wish I had that much
I
impact.
have no investment in the kiwi fruit market
Yet.
yet. I'm about to go online. And,
Yeah, you better hurry up. Yeah, thanks. All right, so for a longer life, then we're looking at what you've kind of told me sleep before.
Yeah, sleep is another that's coming into lifestyle factors. So
Lifestyle
we talk about
factors.
nutrition.
Yep.
Rest and recuperation is another factor
Right.
because that carries over to endocrine, neurotransmitters, everything kind of affected from that.
Okay.
So, if you're kind of getting lack of sleep, then that can affect you hormonally.
Yep.
Neurotransmitters, your attitude, everything can be affected from that. And then that has a feedback loop where that will affect your sleep too. So sleep is a big factor. And as we were saying before, if you're not sleeping well, it's not an ambient deficiency, it's actually something else going on there. And that's
Right.
why we're talking about the Braverman test, which is something that everybody can go online,
Right.
developed by Eric Braverman. It's a very basic test that look at neurotransmitter balance. It's just a questionnaire, it's no blood work or anything
Right.
like that. But I've done it next to actual lab work,
Right.
and it comes back pretty good. And for free, it makes it even better.
Yeah.
And from that, you can determine, where you may have neurotransmitter deficiency or dominance.
Right.
and then you can kind of correct that with certain protocols can go with that. So if someone kind of goes through the test, then they can go on to your site and get more kind of customized protocol.
Thanks for the plug, Pete. My site.
Remember, I'm getting 15%.
Referral fee.
50%, I should say.
Oh, jeez, that's going to kill me. Okay, go on.
So I've got a dog here who wants to go inside. Yeah, because she's got it there.
Right.
So, you know, doing that certain protocol will help balance out what you need to do with the neurotransmitters.
Right.
You correct that neurotransmitter balance, that's going to help with sleep, going to help with day-to-day events, you know, day-to-day activities, your focus, your concentration.
Yep.
I've worked with a kid here in New Zealand. When I came to New Zealand, I worked with them just on this, was that they wanted to put him on all these drugs, as they do with kids these days. And part of the problem was, you know, attention deficit and all that type of stuff. And we did this. I just did the Braverman test for it. This was just give them a free kind of, this is what we do.
Right.
Braverman tests, put them on the balancing protocol.
Yep.
Helped them phenomenally.
Wow.
No drugs needed. You know.
Wow. So the Braverman, well, that's interesting. I mean, that's been
if you're looking at Braverman, you can look up the Edge Effect, which is his book. You can get on Kindle pretty cheap, and that gives you a big overview if you want to read it. But then, you know, from that testing, it gives you a lot of balance in what you can do with your sleep protocol. I mean, go along with sleep is, you know, your evening routine, which you know, I think you're strong on too, is creating an evening routine that, you know, one, you're not sitting in front of a computer like you were last night, right before you go to bed.
It's unusual for me.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I can contest that. It is unusual for you.
Yeah.
But, you know, doing things like a routine every night, so your body's preparing to wind down.
Yep.
You know, turning down the lights if you can. You know, it depends on the individual's lifestyle.
So moving from blue light to more, right.
Turn off your Wi-Fi if you can.
Yeah.
You know, in your house. I actually have a remote switch that you can use for that.
To kill?
Yeah.
To kill the Wi-Fi?
I'm leaving on for you guys because I don't know when you guys are going to sleep.
Right, okay.
But I have a kill switch for that.
Right. EMF from the electricity in the walls as
well? We actually have filters in here too, so you can get filters in the US. They're actually really cheap. Over here a little bit more expensive, but US, if you're in the US, you can get them really cheap. The EMF filters for the power point, so you can plug them in, and that will actually help filter out a lot of that dirty electricity they have the problem with from especially in older homes too.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got. I don't know what your comment is on this, and I'm happy for you to give your honest, as usual, fact-based comment. I've got the sticker on the back called Buyer's Ed sticker. They've tested it, and it's Euro Medical certified, whatever that means. At the end of the day, because we know some of the things that happen with FDA and these regulators.
It didn't help stop breaking your phone.
Smashing the back of this, absolutely. But that's supposed to lower the frequency and get it to that point where it's not damaging DNA. It's supposed to be the intent. No?
No.
So tell me about that. Why?
It's not this device you're worried about.
Right.
It's a transmitter.
From?
Well, transceivers. It's the base transmitter that's signaling into that.
Right.
It still has to go through you.
Right.
And now with 5G coming through, if you want to get into...
So it's not even the phone, you're saying? It's the...
I mean, it can be partially the phone, but it's also... Remember, if you have your phone up here...
Yeah. Oh, it's coming to there.
Yeah.
It's attracted to this.
Yes.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what's coming out of that, it's what's coming in too.
Interesting.
Even if you're able to neutralize some of the output going from that, you can't neutralize. You can't go over and put one of the stickers on every cell tower.
Yeah, right.
And with the new 5G, we're talking major problems. I'm glad I'm in a position we aren't getting 5G here. So
is that right?
Yeah.
As in New Zealand, or
I believe in New Zealand probably would get it, but we're in the country. So
not
countries,
the country.
because of the frequency of 5G, they have to have basically they'll have to have a transmitter or transceiver on every house.
Right.
On every, well, even because we're actually quite far apart, they would actually be closer than that. The power output would be very high. Otherwise, they're doing megawatts of output on them.
Wow. Okay, that's a worry. That's a whole new hippie life in itself too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if those know if those stickers work, but I can tell you that it can't work on both sides.
Yeah, because
it may help
it's
with the phone,
transmitted. So transmitting here, it may be helping, but transmitting from what's coming at you, and you're being forced to consume, especially in the cities, right? You've got no choice.
You might be reducing that part, but you're not reducing
that part. Right.
And then in the cities, you're just surrounded by that stuff.
And here you are out in the beautiful countryside in Queenstown,
and
right?
we don't even get 4G here really. You got 4G right now? It's kind of shady.
No, I've got your Wi-Fi, so I don't even know if it's on.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
mostly I think we're 3G out here,
Right.
which I'm okay with. I don't care.
3G's not too bad, yeah.
Well, it's going to
it's
be less.
better.
It was better as far as because the frequency is on and everything and the power output. But
Right.
that's how far away we are from any towers. Is
Yeah.
that we can't pick up the 4G here.
Right.
I think Frankton's probably.
Frankton?
Frankton's saturated with it.
10 minutes away. Yeah.
10 minutes away, but saturated. But then
it's a
they can't
centre as well.
transmit it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So coming back, then we're looking at that rest, relaxation, sleep we were just talking about. That'd be your number one.
At night time.
Do you reckon that'd be your number one?
I wouldn't put anything at number one.
Okay.
I think.
Give me the top three then.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about water,
Yeah,
hydration,
water.
water.
Type of any water.
Well, personally, I'm just using this bottle here. We actually left that bottle, but I like to keep it in glass too. I distill water. I use a distiller. Yes.
So no minerals are left in it. It's just pure water.
Yeah, it's pure water. But I do add salt. I use a Himalayan salt into it sometimes, or a mineralizer, which is
I saw you had some drops there to
Yeah.
remineralize the water.
Yeah, so
Right.
that can remineralize the water. So we do that.
Right.
But
What is structured water and living water and all these other different types of water? You got,
the alkaline water and all that. Yeah.
right, and alkaline water.
No, it's marketing.
It's marketing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's almost it's like all the gluten-free stuff these days too.
Well, can you give us a quick one on that, like the alkaline? Because everybody's confused.
I thought we're going to get down here soon.
We are. Damn, it's like, oh my god! All right, so 5 minutes, and we're getting down on the mat because we're heading towards the physical
But
stuff.
we're going to do some more videos on your other web,
Yes.
your page. So.
Yep, and we're going to be recording some stuff specifically for the Hill.me community as well. And so, if you want the extra content and extra stuff we've been recording here and are going to over the next few days. Hill.me, which is on the Middleaged Millennial page. Go and sign up, and you'll be able to get some of the extras, and especially while we've got this time with Peter, which is he's been very gracious to host us here and get some of this stuff out. So
Until he gets the bill.
Until I get the bill, and they hopefully let me leave the country. All right. So we're looking at water.
Yeah.
And any water, just hydration. You're basically saying.
But you were asking about gluten. Do you want to go there?
Yes, let's go to gluten and alkalinity. The people that are confused, people are really confused, thinking I need more alkaline water, but it's kind of wrong.
Well, pH of the stomach. What's the pH of the stomach?
It's acidic.
Very acidic.
Right, HCl, hydrochloric acid, yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
So you're passing through there first anyway, right?
Right.
Okay. So we're actually about to get marching order. That's the one factor. So what your pH in your body is different in every part.
Right.
What the main concern is your pH of your blood.
Right.
You have a narrow window for that.
Right.
It doesn't change that much. Get a blood test and have a look.
Because the pH of your blood's the most important
If
part.
you measure your pH in your mouth, pH in your pee, that's
Right.
going to fluctuate. That can move up and down. That does not reflect over to your pH in your blood.
And a lot of the devices are inaccurate as well.
Yeah. I mean,
What would you suggest? The paper or?
no. Well, you can use them if you want to measure that, but why are you
Right.
measuring it? Because it's not related to your body pH.
Right,
The blood
okay.
pH is what you talk about cancers and stuff. It's blood pH.
Right, blood pH.
You have a very narrow window.
Yep.
Drinking alkaline foods and waters ain't going to really make any difference there. So it's not that. It's more of general. It's a bigger picture stuff on that. It's biochemistry. It's a little bit more complex that I'll get into right now. But
Right.
eating these alkaline foods is not going to do that.
Right.
Okay. And then gluten.
Yeah.
The whole gluten thing. Part of that. Gluten's in rice. There's all different type of gluten type proteins in other grains as well.
Right.
So you've got to take that into effect. But what we can be seeing is that, people having gut issues with gluten. What's gluten in?
Wheat.
Corn, wheat. Okay, well, they
Grains.
spray on the crops.
Glyphosate.
Glyphosate. Now, glyphosate, what effect does that have on the gastrointestinal system? Destroys it.
Destroys the bacteria, leaky gut,
That's-
all these other things that are happening in the world.
That's where a lot of it more coming from. Now, if you test on a positive on a test, allergy test, I wouldn't take that for granted. But I'm a big proponent against. We've got some questions. I'm a
Yep.
big proponent against grains anyway.
Right, because
Well, one, pro-inflammatory. In the US, you're trying to get GMO-free grains. Good luck with that.
right.
They tell you not to eat processed food, but you can't eat grains unless it's been processed.
Right. And so
So they say don't eat processed food, but then eat
grains.
the grains.
Eat
because
whole grains.
Whole grains are processed. try to see how you go with post.
Right.
See how you feel. And then,
Well, a lot of them have been GMO'd as well, have they not?
yeah, a lot of GMO coming through. Well, I mean, remember grain is also corn, and corn is like corn soy
God.
is the number 2. Yeah,
Right.
the top 2.
Right.
Now you've got everything else being mixed in there, and you've got crops being released where they're not meant to be released. And
Right.
Hawaii is having a big problem with that right now.
Jeez. Okay. And so grains is also connected to cardio because of the sugar aspect,
Yeah,
or the carb aspect of
inflammatory.
it's
Because
inflammatory.
remember, cardiovascular disease is more inflammatory disease, so it's
Right.
the inflammatory factor. Throws off their balance, omega-3, omega-6. You know,
Right.
There's a lot of
Because omega-3 to omega-6 ratio needs to be 1:1, maximum 1:3.
3. Well, yeah, I'd say I wouldn't go 1-to-1.
1:1.
No, 1-to-2, 1-to-3.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. If you're
Right.
doing 1-to-1, maybe some individuals need that.
Yep.
But 1-to-3, there's been one from omega-6 to omega-3, so you're
Right.
actually having more omega-6s naturally in the diet anyway.
Right.
But people got to remember your meat sources will determine too. So if you're eating grass-fed beef
Yep.
or pure grass-fed and not grass-finished either, then
Yeah.
you're going to have a much higher omega-3 content than if you're eating grain-fed beef or
Right.
industrial beef.
Right.
So
Salmon,
Salmon is high again.
omega-3.
Yeah.
Right.
See, beef can potentially have as much omega-3 as salmon,
Right.
but beef also has more omega-6 than salmon though. So the ratio
Right.
is different in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just before we hit the mat in a moment, cardio, the number 1 killer on the planet. Okay.
Other than
Next
beyond,
to cancer.
beyond
which
doctors.
country? Beyond doctors.
Yeah. Well, medical establishment. I
Right.
shouldn't blame doctors
Nah.
because there's some fantastic doctors out there.
Yeah.
But the system.
The system.
Yeah.
Right. So
And
this-
a lot. I do know a lot of doctors banging their heads against the wall because of the system.
Right. Okay. And that could be partly also misdiagnosis as well as some of the pharmaceutical.
Well, remember, with
Things.
pharmaceuticals, US numbers only, and this is through the FDA, so this is official numbers.
Right.
You're looking at over 100,000 deaths per year from taking prescription drugs as prescribed.
As prescribed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
This is not abuse, this is just taking it. That's 100,000 plus per year.
Okay.
Every year.
Right.
And they're worried about, all these other causes
Chronic
of death.
diseases. Yeah.
Well, they're worried about car accidents, causing, 50,000 in the US, 55,000 in the US,
Car accidents is up there.
And they're really pushing it. Or gun deaths. Gun deaths
Yep.
in the US is only 6,000, 7,000 per
People.
year.
Right.
Yeah, the rest of the deaths are suicide, so people are going to kill themselves, they're going to do it. But
Right.
they really focused on that. But notice how they ignore the whole pharmaceutical aspect of
Yeah.
it.
Anything related
They
to
totally
pharmaceutical
ignore
is ignored.
And you talk about going back to shooting, you look at mass shootings, every one of those mass shooters on some kind of drugs.
Right.
A combination.
Right.
Every one of them, 100%.
That's interesting too.
Yeah, so,
Wow.
but they always forget that, they leave that out.
Right.
And they always ignore the 120,000
Right.
deaths per year.
Make this other thing the bad guy. It's like sugar
Yeah.
and fat.
They're
Make
trying
that the bad guy.
We were talking about the Keys study this morning.
Key study.
Like the 7-country study on cholesterol.
Oh, on
blaming
cholesterol.
Yeah.
Cholesterol's not a bad thing.
No,
What is bad about cholesterol?
they drop it too low. So, I mean, yeah.
What's your cholesterol? Are you able to share that?
Oh, right, okay.
What's your reading?
I try to keep mine about, in US figures,
Yeah.
I keep trying to keep mine about 250.
250. Pete's cholesterol is 250. Mine's about 160.
See,
right?
once you
And
start
I'm thinking I'm bad because I should be below 100 or something, according to the China study.
Well, the China study is not a study.
Right. Okay. Let's not go there yet. Let's not go there yet. No.
There is actually no study behind it.
Right. Okay.
There's no peer reviewed. There's no backing behind it. Yeah.
Right,
So
but-
it's never been published.
But getting back to cholesterol, so people can understand. So what is it's the small particle LDL?
Well, it's information marketed with that. So it's a small particle LDL, which
Yep.
they need to measure. Remember, LDL is not cholesterol. It's lipoprotein. It's a transporter.
Right.
So you've got to transport it in, transport it out with HDL, LDL.
Right.
So with the small particle LDL, that's associated with inflammation markers.
Associated with inflammation marker.
Yeah, so you'll see inflammation markers that could rise and cause elevation of small particle LDL. So one of the things we see though is small LDL is kind of increased from people who eat a lot of sugars and stuff too.
Right.
Grains can increase.
Sugars, grains.
There's other lifestyle factors too there. But
Right.
increasing, so when you get a test done, if they come back with your cholesterol test, don't look at those basic numbers. They're looking at total cholesterol, they look at LDL, HDL, and often they're calculated too.
Right.
When they're calculated, that means nothing because it combines with triglycerides. And triglycerides you want to look at too.
Right.
Keep that number down very low.
Right.
or 60 maybe. It depends on the individual again, biochemistry.
Okay.
But then they use the triglycerides as a calculation for the LDL. So if they're using calculated, that's not really giving you any information. What you need to do is go in and get a particle test. So looking at particle size testing.
Particle size. So once again, it's the small ones that get through the endothelium and then create inflammation underneath.
Well, it actually what happens is they can be either causation of inflammation or they can be reactive to the inflammation that's already there.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Which then is
that's
a marker.
what we're talking about.
Then it's a marker.
And that's why we don't use calcium supplements, because calcification of the arteries.
Right.
Calcification. I mean, and then iron.
Yep.
Iron's a factor in there. Don't supplement with iron, guys.
Right.
Wish me in.
Right.
I'll mention the other show, but Carl Lenore on Superhuman Radio just recently did a big show on iron, like I think a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
So have a look at that. That's a whole, I think it was an hour or 2 hours on iron.
On iron.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and aging.
Right.
And it just come down because iron will age you. So there's
iron
big
will age
factor
you.
there. Yeah.
Right.
So you don't really need to supplement with iron.
Yep.
If you're low on iron, look what's going on. One thing I found when I was working with people was that, okay, if they're very low on iron, I want to make sure that it's not being accumulated somewhere in the body.
Right.
And guess where it accumulates? The brain.
Right.
So we've got to make sure that that's not accumulated in the brain,
Yep.
because that will cause diseases like Alzheimer's and other related.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Look, I mean, we've gone over. I mean, I could do this for the next few hours. There's so many questions I want to ask. But just to round up for people,
what we should do is go focus on one or two of these more.
Yep.
Inside your site,
Yes.
the page.
Which we will. Right. So we'll go deeper, guys. If you join Heal.me, and there's going to be some deeper stuff coming in there. Not only that, I want you to know that Pete has been kind enough to give it a go with doing Tuesdays. So every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday?
Almost.
I agreed to this.
It's a contract right here, right now. So Tuesdays, when he's available-ish, that we're looking to get Pete on to go deeper in some of these areas as well. But a lot of it's going to be in Heal.me. All right. So then it was the nutrition, it was the lifestyle thing, it was the sleep sort of recovery. Water is always a big one for you. Number 3 with physical. Could that be up there?
Yeah. So movement,
and
especially with aging. We're talking about this going into the mat. What we're going to do on the mat.
Yep.
Joint health is going to be a big factor as you age.
Right.
Is one of the factors. So I find that working with an aging athlete, or Asian athlete being a human being, because every human's an athlete, but the joint health is something that they kind of forget about, abuse, and this comes back and bites them basically later on.
Right.
When as they age, these joint issues become more substantial and more noticeable. So that's something we work on, is looking at the joint health and getting that up to scratch. And joint health is major. Imagine if you're in pain all the time too. What effect is that going to be on your mindset? What's that effect on the body? The stress response in the body.
Right.
You're in pain, you're going to have a stress response.
Right. And that's obviously, if you're in pain, it's sending a message from somewhere, right? It's like something needs to get fixed. It's a form of inflammation?
Well, inflammation could be. You can have pain without inflammation.
Right. Okay.
It could be a nerve impingement even. There's different things that can cause the pain receptors to stimulate the pain response. But inflammation is often associated with it too, though. Okay. And that's what we're going to find interesting today when we do the shoulders.
All right. So look, why don't we move into getting something physical happening? We've just got here from Matt, CRP, homocysteine, and nogen. Nogen, potential problem.
Yeah.
Oxidized cholesterol.
Biomarkers to look at for cardiovascular disease, and even just general overall inflammation markers. Right. Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely key, yeah. CRP I certainly know about, and I've heard about the others. Just quickly having a look here, high voltage, pH equals voltage, minus low voltage equals acidic. Okay, oxidized cholesterol problem.
Yeah, oxidation of cholesterol occurs with the small particle LDL.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. And we got Owen on. We got Matt on. We got a few others on. Okay. So why don't we move to the mat? We've now got a cameraman. We are going mobile.
Camera person, please.
Camera person.
Come on, this is 2019.
Geez, I'm glad to see the heat's not on me all the time. So we are going to hit the mat,
which is right there.
Right there.
Right near here. Right now.
Right here. Right now. Today. Believe it or
Jesus
not.
Jones.
to learn about the physical aspect of living a long and healthy life, and specifically around joint pain. More will be in heal.me. Go and sign up. Okay, so geez, what are we going to be doing here, Pete?
Well,
You're going to break me?
I
know you've been hanging to do that. You know,
we're going to have some interesting stuff. We're going under the tree here, so we'll get some shade. So we'll see if we can stand up. How's that looking there?
We got light.
You want to switch the camera?
That's okay, Ian. You can talk.
You can talk.
How do I turn it around?
Oh, turn around the other way? Yo, that's easy.
Yeah,
okay, guys, let's just, where is it? Boom, and we are around the other way.
My barbecue.
Woohoo! Okay.
Okay, so normally we'll go through an assessment, but I'm going to bypass that just
No.
Okay, so what I'm going to go through is just some flexibility type exercises. People have different labels for these. Open up your shoulders.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to go for probably the one that most commonly needed. Come down on that.
Yep.
Knees.
Yeah.
Sasha knees.
Oh, God. Yeah, Sasha knees.
Yeah, these are Sasha knees. This
Tending to
is
the dog.
from the dog.
Right. Oh, yeah. You did that recently.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the things we look at, mine didn't crack like that.
I think I broke them.
Holy.
They're busted.
Okay, so come back in this position here.
Right.
We're going to look at extension in the shoulder joint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is one thing really lacking in individuals. Work in the office all day, bench
Yeah,
press all day,
all the time,
whatever. You know.
hunched in. Right.
But you look at program design work with people doing strength training. Look how much horizontal pushing they are doing to horizontal pulling. It's usually way out of balance.
Right.
If anything, they need to probably do a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 pulling, 1 pushing.
Right.
Because they're doing this stuff all day anyway.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is just get your hands behind you. You can try to put your hands directly back. Your chest up. Open up. How's that feel on you, okay?
Yeah.
Nothing tight in the shoulders?
No.
You just feel a little bit of pull through the chest. I mean, like
The back.
tension, but nothing like.
Yeah. Just a bit of tension across the shoulders at the back.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to lift the hip up under control from the glutes, not from your back. We're just going to lift the hip up into a bridge position and get that stretch through the shoulder here. So we're going to get this up high.
Yep.
It only goes high as you can feel comfortable. We stretch it.
Right.
Come back down. We do want to hold some stretches longer. This one we don't want to because it's a bridging position.
Yep.
But you can see you couldn't go all the way up on that.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, if we went all the way up, we probably wouldn't move the shoulders back into position then.
Right.
Okay, so we're going back up. We're going to do multiple reps of these in that slow controlled tempo. Drop your chin back just a little bit, so drop your chin in, just so we're keeping everything in line. You're sagging through here a little bit.
Yeah.
Why are we sagging through here? Compensating up here, down again. So very tight in the shoulders here. Very tight in the shoulders. Don't push it too far. We just want to warm it up. As we get every repetition, you're going to get a little bit further, a little bit further. Aren't we glad we used you instead of Angela?
Oh yeah. She would have already had the arch bridge going on.
Up to here. Just don't push it too back. Drop the chin back a little bit. We don't want to overextend the neck here. Make sure you focus on the glutes coming in here.
Right.
Don't worry, I'm not filling you up. Just touching the glutes to get your thigh out there. Okay, drop down again. Feeling that pull in there.
Yeah.
Come back up again. This one's really
Glutes.
lacking on people. You've got to be a little careful. If someone's got a shoulder injury or pain in the shoulder at the time, I usually start them in the position where we started before we were testing it. Just getting them to open up a little bit first before we even attempt to do this. If there's pain present, now there's a stretch and there's pain.
Yeah.
So there's pain present, we don't push through it.
Right.
If there's a stretch, we don't push through it, but we kind of take it to the edge.
Okay.
Okay? No pain,
No pain.
just stretch, but a good stretch.
Good stretch. I can feel the tightness. Yeah.
This is something you could do as a routine every morning, every day. Some people seen some of this stuff in yoga, some stuff like this in yoga or Pilates and all, but this is kind of just a little bit more refined what we're doing here. And we'll hold it for 3 seconds or so at the top. Sometimes I may hold it a little bit longer depending on what I'm doing. We'll do one more.
Okay.
He's working here already.
Yeah, geez, I can feel it in the shoulders.
Yeah. This is very tight. You should, I'm tight. And Hank can be the judge here. Who's doing a better job?
Is that a rhetorical question? Really?
And my muscle mass is probably a little bit more.
Yeah, you better answer that correctly, Anne, by the way.
No comment. Okay. So, and that will come up very quickly.
Right.
For you, you're not that bad. Right. I've seen people do this. Oh, that's it.
That's about it.
That's it.
Oh my god.
Like the butt of the floor comes out. You do this consistently for a couple of weeks, you'll find that improvement will be phenomenal.
Each day, what, 3 reps or what?
Nah, I usually go for like 10 to 20 reps.
10 to 20 reps for 3 seconds.
3
each
second
day.
hold at the top.
3 second hold on top. Right.
I'm lifting my head up and putting it in.
Right.
Right. Talk to you.
Yeah. Okay. Huh. Okay.
Condition neutral.
Right. This is a good one for like execs to use. I mean, anybody sitting down all day for a big chunk of the day, usually.
If they're not very active, you know, you want to start with this kind of movement and then you slowly slide back into it.
Right. Okay.
You can slowly take those hands back further.
Yeah.
Get that kind of pre-stretch in there before you go into lifting the hips.
Get your core sort of
Yeah,
fixed.
the core stuff. But I mean, this is for someone who's already moderately exercising.
Right. Okay.
Which is probably the majority of
The mode of the following.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so next
All
one.
right. Yep.
We're going to lie her face down.
Okay.
No, when the dog hasn't peed on this one for a while.
Have you peed on this one, Pete? Yeah. Okay. I thought you would have.
I'm not answering. Okay, so we're going to bring his arm out sideways here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
What we'll do is we'll go through the sequence on this side only.
Mm-hmm.
You alternate.
Okay.
What we're going to do from here, I want you to pivot the joint. I want you to roll over this way
Yep.
onto that, trying to keep this at 90 degrees.
Right.
And just roll into it. Give me feel the pull coming through the shoulder.
Wow. Yeah. Through
Okay, hold it.
my elbow actually as well.
Yeah, yeah. So back it up a little bit so you feel tension, because that fascial line tension as well as the muscular line.
Right. Oh.
And remember, I'm going to go through this a little bit quicker at the same time,
Oh,
but
now
sometimes don't
shoulder
push
I
it
can
too
never-
hard, ease into it.
All right.
So we want to do progressive static stretching, which means
Right.
you slowly progress into the stretch.
Right.
These can be held much longer than what we're doing right now. Static stretching can be held up to 3 minutes per set. One of the things that you see often people doing static stretching is not long enough. They might hold it for, I think some of the textbooks goes as low as 10 seconds, but you know, most of the textbooks say somewhere between 10 and 20 seconds for holding a static stretch. Doesn't even come close. We don't do anything less than 1 minute.
Right.
Nothing ever less than 1 minute on a static stretch.
Right.
Okay. There's all different types of stretching. Okay, so what we move, slowly come back down, we go flat. Remember, we're staying on the same side. What I normally would do with someone who's kind of alternate, especially someone new, alternates, so it gives them a bit of a break. We don't want to give them a break. So we're going to go up here,
Right.
about angle of scaption. Okay, so it's
Okay.
probably about 30, 25, 30 degrees here.
Yep.
We're going to do the same thing. Now here, what you got to be careful of, you roll, you're going to make sure you roll from the joint.
Right.
Okay, you did a good job in the first one. So I want you to repeat that here. Roll it
Right.
over the same way.
Same way.
Keep that shoulder down. One better goes far. Right, keep that shoulder down. That shoulder down.
Right.
Roll from inside the capsule. Inside the capsule. There we go. Can you feel that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we're a little tight. Now we're starting to see some tight areas here.
Yeah.
I think we've got a work laid out for us here.
Right.
I think
I could also
after
feel
this
that.
video, we've probably got another 4 hours of work to do.
Awesome.
Okay. So hold that position there.
Yeah.
Okay. Get that stretch on. We're going to do the same kind of hold here. I'm going to hold it for a little bit longer than what's comfortable for you.
Right. Okay.
I like putting it into discomfort.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Make sure you don't compensate your body through this too. I
Right.
mean, your back position is good here. This is all
Okay.
good, but don't try to start twisting your body around to compensate for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just
Make sure
focusing
your
on the
head's relaxed
joint.
in a position. That's good weight where you are right now, as long as
Okay.
it's comfortable. If your neck starts to fatigue, you know, you can put your head down on the floor more.
Right.
Okay, how's that feel?
Look, I mean, I can definitely feel that right down to my thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can feel that pull. And that's actually kind of limited range of motion on that one there too. That's
Interesting.
fairly limited.
Wow.
But you'll feel great afterwards. Well, you'll feel great on that shoulder afterwards.
Right.
Okay, so come back down again. So for the second time, I'm going to go into some more, just the basic ones. Okay?
Yep. Yep.
So we're going to bend your arm here. 90 degrees, we're going to do the same thing again here.
Yeah.
From here, you're going to roll over, keeping the shoulder pinned down. This is the kind of stuff we used to do in the old days, right?
Right.
Reason I think that static stretching has kind of gone out of vogue a little bit
Yeah.
is
Is.
there's nothing to sell. No things to sell, add-ons and stuff like this.
As usual, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, you can buy that, but you can do this anywhere, or you can do this in your hotel room when you're traveling.
You can.
Especially when you're traveling, because
Right.
you're going to be all tightened up from the traveling.
Yep.
Drop the shoulder down. Yeah, there we go. You saw that capsule. It's the difference is that capsule. And once you get really good at this, you can start manipulating that capsule around to
Wow.
feel that joint in there.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And this is fairly limited. You should be at 90 degrees torso. So his torso should be here. So you can see that. Don't try to do it right now.
Right.
You'll do it once.
Snap. Once and that's it.
It'll be once. Okay.
Yeah.
How's that feeling?
Oh, it's sore. I can feel the tightness, right?
Yeah, tightness. But
Yeah.
Remember, we're not looking for pain. We're looking for that tension.
Stretch.
Drop down again. Flat. Now let's go opposite this way. Try to keep this elbow up here.
Okay.
Out elevation of the trapezius too much right there.
Okay. Yeah.
Try to do the same thing now. Slowly, gentle on this one, gentle. Remember, we're normally alternating, so you get a break on it normally. A little bit better here. See, this one's a little bit better.
Yeah.
Internal versus the external.
Wow.
So your external rotate is definitely try to.
Right.
See, this is where you should be on the other one too, closer to where you want to be.
Interesting.
Yeah. This one's not as bad though, right? I mean,
Right.
now you're getting the end range, so it's probably feeling it now.
Right. Yeah. I can. Across the front of the shoulder.
Yeah. So what I would do with someone like this, I say, okay, this one you don't have to push so hard until the others catch up a little bit better.
Right. Right.
But you can still do it. But
Right.
just don't push it as far as the ones that focus on your weaknesses
Yeah.
and just maintain your strengths
Right.
until they balance out.
Okay.
And then you can carry on bringing everything up.
Okay.
Okay? Slide
Yep.
it back down.
Yep.
Let's go over onto your back. We'll just do one more. How are we going for time today?
Well, we're good.
What minutes on the video are we? You can talk.
About an hour.
Don't know.
I think.
Someone's lost their voice.
Yeah, we don't know what time do we start. I should say.
We started late because of Tommy. Of course.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Too many questions.
So what we're going to do here is I want you to place your hand underneath your lower back here.
Yep.
Just that hand.
Got
Okay?
it in the arch.
Yep, in the arch at the back.
Right.
Love a spine. Okay, so from here,
Yep.
you can see the shoulder probably on the camera here, right? You see it elevated forward
Right.
already. But,
Oh wow, yeah.
But now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to roll the body this way into that shoulder joint. Come on. Yeah, let me show you. Let me show you a little bit. Watch me for a second. Here?
Yep.
Keep that shoulder down. You kind of want to bring it up.
Bring it up. Right.
Keep that shoulder down.
Roll over the shoulder.
Get into that.
Right. Okay.
You're pretty much on. People try to compensate on this one. Yeah, it's more straight over rather than trying to.
Oh yeah. Nice. That's nasty.
Yeah. Bring your hand out a little bit more too. If you want. Yeah, just so your palms underneath your lower back.
Right. Just up there.
Yeah, so
About it-ish.
I think we have a little bit of tightness in the shoulders here.
Right.
Yeah, this is very basic. You could probably get this done in 15 minutes.
Right.
There's my baby in the background. So you can probably get this done in 15 minutes.
Yep.
Maybe 20. I'd like for you probably want to spend a bit of time on it, but the average person, 15 minutes.
How often?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah, every day.
Yep.
The difference you'll feel in a couple of weeks. Phenomenal.
Right.
Yeah.
And who tends to have most of these problems? Is it more your exec sort of white collar worker dude?
These
or
days, it's usually just humans.
humans in general.
Yeah.
Is it generally sitting down or what?
Yeah, that's one thing is the postural kind of creation for that sitting posture.
Right.
What they call the new smoking.
The new smoking.
Yeah, is the sitting over the computer, the whole postural deformity that occurs from there. I've got a good article I wrote a while back that I'll send you and you can
Yes.
post it yourself if you want.
Oh, awesome.
But the whole thing with that is that, yeah, you got that fixation, but what's worse is those guys in the gym who do bench press all day. Monday in the gym, what do you see?
Oh, sure.
Packed gym, everybody's waiting for the bench press. What do you see on Friday? A couple of guys hanging around to do leg training. Yeah. It's by the end of the week when leg training comes around. Mind you, I don't believe in that whole big so over dominance and that kind of pushing pattern in the gym. So if you're training in the gym right now, one thing you can do is kind of swap it around a little bit and do more pulling and pushing.
Yep.
I actually do my bench press last in my training
Right.
because it's least important to me. And also it means that I'm already pre-fatigued a little bit, so I'm not going to go as heavy and push it as hard.
Yep.
I mean, I used to bench over 200 kilograms. So I'm not gonna, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't need to.
Yeah.
So I'm doing overhead press before I do bench press.
Right.
I'm doing all my other stuff before I get to bench press, and when I get to bench press, except for directly working on elbow flexors and extensors.
Yeah.
But when I get to bench press, I've already done the big stuff, and that's just more like a finishing off.
Dessert sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's like
Yeah.
you don't
Get
need
the
a lot.
ego,
Yeah.
satisfy your ego.
There we go.
Actually, I love getting my chins up, so I'm doing chin ups and stuff like that with heavy weights.
Yep.
See let's get that up.
Yeah.
So yeah, doing chin ups is more kind of a better carryover for shoulder health.
Right.
How many people do chin ups with load? You
Not
know,
a lot.
I'd like to see. My ideal is doing one rep, proper rep,
Yep.
with my body weight. Now, what I'm saying, my body weight is me with my body weight hanging off my waist.
Right.
So another 100 kilos hanging down here.
Hanging off your waist.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I like to see, but I'm happy with 50% for my foot.
Right.
So for me, it would be 50 kilos hanging off there, which I do.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing that.
Right.
But I'm doing that for reps, not for single.
Yeah. I mean, if you're doing a lot of travel, you're an exec. I mean, these and you're sitting down a lot of the time in your shop. It's fantastic, right? And there's others who probably don't have time right now, but it's good to be able to have a look at some other ones that can be done for the person, the dude sitting down either in a plane or in a meeting.
Go through the hip stuff.
Go for the hip stuff.
Ankle stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah, hip stuff's a big one too.
Right. Okay, so I reckon we can have some of those probably in hill.me. I think that's probably about all we're going to squeeze in today. It's a fair bit of content right there. Pete,
Right now.
Right here, right now. Pete, can you help me up?
He's an old man. He's trying to drag me down.
There we go. No, mate, look, I appreciate
2
it.
years difference, brother.
There we go, yeah.
But who looks younger? Vote now.
Right now. But yeah, no, look, thanks for just all the information that you've given in the past as well. We're really trying to sort of find out. Even you call it trolling, it's not trolling. It's you basically trying to cut the crap, and that's what I'm trying to do as well. And I think getting rid of the confusion. There's so
There's
much
a
out there
lot
that's
of
been
confusion.
dollar driven, self-interest, it's money and industry. And there's a lot of bad shit that's happened as a result. And I know you're a sort of big proponent for trying to get it on the right rails and so am I, and those that are part of the community. So looking forward to having Pete for more in future and in hill.me as well, and some Tuesdays.
It's some more content when you come back.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think it's an invitation.
Well,
Is that an invitation?
we'll wait until Thursday. The invitation will
Yeah, okay.
see if he pays his account on time.
Yeah, all right. And don't screw up, okay?
She's already messed up. She's not invited back.
Sorry. All right, so
Actually, you're babysitting the dogs.
babysitting the dogs. There we go. Yeah, and all the cats and any other animals you accumulate in the meantime, and all the 5,000
There
million
will be more coming.
and the bunny rabbits that are here.
Yeah.
Man, I've never seen so many rabbits. All right, guys. So remember to enjoy life right here, right now, today. I mean, look at this, because there really isn't much more, believe it or not. Okay. Anyway, we'll catch you on the next Hill.me and Middle-Aged Millennial FB Live. See you then.